This is episode 3 of building an AI SaaS startup called Channel Farm. The goal is to turn anyone into a YouTube creator with AI and make $100,000 in revenue. Now, I built some of the foundational pieces of this app, including the database, the home page, which includes an email capture for the waitlist, which we can then use to email our list in the future and gain some traction at launch. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did all of those things. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first off, there are going to be two main versions of the website. Now, this is something that I didn't initially think about, but as I was building it out, I thought it'd be a better way to build it. So I built out the main marketing site. It's very, very basic. There's not a lot to it. I'll show you guys what it looks like. But there's going to be two different versions. So this is going to be where people go and they find us. They find the platform where they first go in to see the pricing, to log in, etc. And then they're going to be redirected to the app.channel.farm once they've actually purchased or what they want to purchase and log in. So the development process is basically using bolt.new for all of the initial build. Now, the reason I do that is just because Bolt, I find, makes really nice looking websites and they have a very good structure for a lot of things. It's really easy. You don't need to prompt it a lot. You just kind of ask for what you want. And I'll show you guys exactly how I did that. So basically, if you saw in the last video, I made a custom gem. This gem is trained on Alex Becker videos. He's has a bunch of videos about SaaS platforms and how to build them. I basically took a bunch of his content, gave it to a Notebook LM book. I'm not sure if we call books, but book. And basically trained it on that. And then the gem is connected to that book. So now whenever I ask it questions, it will give me answers from those videos. And I basically asked it to help me create a prompt to build out the homepage of this website. Now, what I also did is the last video that I made, I basically went over the whole game plan of how I want to actually build out this application. And in doing so, it's a perfect piece of context for the AI. So I took the transcript from that video and I gave it to the AI along with the information about Alex Becker. And I said, hey, based on all this information, I want you to build me a prompt for bolt.new that will create me a website that will, be high converting, gives all the important information, etc. And so that's how I got this prompt right here. It's very structured, as you can see. I also asked it before then to help me pick the colors. It said to either use a blue or a green. I initially went with the blue and then I switched over to the green. But I'll show you guys here. We can see the first draft of this website actually looked really, really good. Like I didn't change much at all. I changed some of the content and the colors, added a few things here and there. But as you can see, after just that one prompt, this is what it came out with. So it looked really, really good. There's a few little tiny things that were messed up like this. And, these times obviously are way off. It's going to take longer to render videos, at least initially, until I buy a better server. But yeah, I really like the way it looks. So we stuck with that. Didn't really change a whole lot, as you can see here. And I'll show you guys the rest of the website in a little bit. But had that and then basically just went back and forth with it for a couple hours, maybe like 2 hours, to just improve things, make it look a little bit better, add little details here and there. I did initially, I had the idea to just kind of build everything on one website, and that's what I was doing. And then after maybe 30 minutes, I was like, you know what, I wonder if it'd be better to have two separate websites, just to split things up, make it a little more separate, easier to manage both versions of the website. And so that's what I did. So I ended up removing all of the, user information, the Google login, all that kind of stuff. I did build some of that out with this. And then I changed it to just be the raw website. So this is basically the only kind of functionality on this website right now is having the join waitlist. So you can just type in your email, click join waitlist, and it will add you to the waitlist. Now, the way that I did that, this is something to note if you're using bolt.new. When you create a website through here, they're going to use the internal database that's built into bolt.new. They kind of want you to stay on their platform. They don't really want you to take the thing you built and put it somewhere else because they charge $20 a month to host the website, whatever it is. Now, it's really not that hard to host it on a different platform, and I'll show you guys how I did that. But that's what I did. So they also used to have an option so you could just download your whole website, drag it onto your computer, and upload it. Now you can't do that, but they do still have a GitHub option. So as you can see here, you basically click on the GitHub button and then you sync your account and then you can save and upload your whole website to GitHub. So I did that, upload the website with the, very bare bones, all that kind of stuff. And Then I went to Cursor. So I'll show you guys Cursor. This is like an IDE where you can edit your website. It's also got the AI, chat model on the right-hand side where you can talk to it and ask it to edit the website for you. This is what I do. I very, very, very rarely edit any of this code. I know a little bit about how to write code, but not enough to build this website or app by any means. So yeah, took it into here, uploaded it. Basically, the way you do that is you can come here, you can go to a new window, and you can click on clone repo, and you just put in the URL of the repo that you took your website from Bolt and gave it to GitHub. So you now have your website directly on your computer saved locally, and then you can start making some edits to it. So once it was here, I then wanted to make sure the database was still synced up. So basically, when you're in bolt.new, I had to, before I moved it over, I had to go to the project settings right here, and then go down to applications and sync and connect my Supabase. And Supabase is a database hosting service that you can use. It's very affordable. I mean, it's free if you have a small enough plan. So right now, this is still in a free plan. There are some limitations with it, but it's pretty good. I can build out this whole platform with the free version and wouldn't have any issues until I started scaling. So really good for that. Connected that. So that basically switched us over from using the internal database to then using the Supabase database, which is obviously really good. We don't want to be stuck using the internal one because you want to move the platform, move the app outside of bolt.new and move it into, for example, Cursor to edit. So we did that, moved it over. As you can see now, it says Supabase. Before this used to say bolt.new. So we moved over the database. I removed the authentication for the users. We had, not sure where it was, but there's a way to link the Google, the users in here. I'm going to show you guys authentication. Here it is. So as you can see, it's enabled still, but I ended up getting Cursor to remove it later because we don't need it. But essentially what this is doing is, or what I had to do is go to Google. I'm not going to click on this because it'll show my credentials, but I had to go to Google and create an app. Basically, you go to Google Console Plaid, you create an app, and then you add your O2 auth. You get two different keys, a client secret key and one other key. I forget the name of it. Basically, you get all that information and you give it to the project settings in here, and then that allows people to log in with Google instead of just using an email. So it makes it a little bit smoother of a process. So that's basically how we did that. Then we went into Cursor, and then so basically the bare bones of the website was built here in bolt.new. I just kind of went back and forth and asked it to do some things for me. And then once I had, I liked it a decent amount, I thought it looked good, and I wanted to start, adding functionality. That's when I brought it into here. So basically brought it back into here and then started changing some of the content on it. So there were some things that I just read through and I'm like, yeah, it's just not accurate. It said it would make videos in like a few minutes, or you could queue up multiple videos at once. Before it said like queue up, hundreds of videos. Not good. We can't queue up hundreds of videos. The server won't allow us to do that, at least not yet. So had to change those little things. Basically just talked to the AI and told it like, hey, I want you to change this. A tip for this when you're vibe coding and this sort of thing, using something like Super Whisper, where as you can see, I just press Option Spacebar on my keyboard, and it just translates everything that I say. It's way faster than typing. Will save you a ton of time. So highly, highly recommend that. And yeah, basically just came in here and just asked for those little edits. Once I was done, I started doing some more research with AI. I went back to that Google gem and I basically just asked it like, hey, this is my website. This is what I'm doing. Now, where's the best place to host this? And it recommended to use Vercel. So I had already signed up for Vercel a while ago and I've heard quite a bit about it. So I ended up going with that. And basically I just asked AI, okay, how can I do this? And I went within Cursor and I talked to it and I asked it, what do I got to do? Walk me through the steps. I had to do a few things on the website, and then I came into here and then it did a lot of it for me. I just said, open up, use the terminal and connect to Vercel. It prompted me to log in and verify the account. And then that's pretty much good to go from there. So that was really, really cool. And then basically, yeah, it synced that up. And then the only other thing I had to do is log into Vercel and then connect my domain name to Vercel so that you can actually go to channel.farm and view the website. And something else to note here, if you come up to the little settings icon in cursor and you go down to tools and MCP, you can see, I guess these need to be authenticated again, but these are 2 MCP servers that have been installed. And this now allows the AI model to actually interact with Vercel and interact with Supabase without me needing to do it myself. There's a lot of things where before, for example, if you don't do this, then whenever you need to make a change to your database, you have to get the AI model within Cursor to create a migration file, which is basically like a bunch of code telling the database how it should structure itself, how it should change, how it should update, if it should add new records, whatever it is. You need to do that every single time, copy all that code, and then paste it into the SQL editor on Supabase. And it's, just a big pain in the ass, to be honest. It takes a lot of time. That's what I did the last time I built an app, but within, I think like 9 months ago, they added MCP servers, which again, basically just allows your AI model to go in and make actions for you and do things on, Supabase or Vercel. So I set those up. Those became super useful. I did also have to go to the rules and commands, and there was a rule. Actually, I think I got deleted because I think I changed my account, so I need to add it back. But the rule that I added was to take note that there is access to the Supabase and Vercel. Actually, I think it's because it's on a different project. No, maybe it is on this one. But either way, I had to tell it that there's an MCP server because I wasn't using it. I didn't want to tell it every single time I was talking to it in the chat window. So instead, I just put it into the rules and commands, and then it started listening, and it would use the MCP server every time instead of doing what I said and using migration files. So yeah, that was super useful. And then that was pretty much it. From there, I basically just told it, okay, I want to publish this new version to GitHub, and then it published it to GitHub. And then it was pretty much set up on Vercel to get the information from GitHub. The only problem I had was when I was trying to publish new versions to Vercel, they weren't working. And then I tried to do it manually. It still wasn't working. And the reason was because my account email that I used on Vercel was different than the one that I used on GitHub. So whenever I pushed the new versions from this chat window, whenever it pushed the new version to GitHub, I had to tell it to label the email that was doing the pushing as my channel farm email instead of my personal business email. So once I did that, then it actually was able to catch the new updates, and then Vercel would automatically now publish the new versions of the website as soon as they get uploaded to GitHub. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing actually I did, I'll show you guys here as well. This is Vercel. So I did have web analytics installed. This came up. I'll show you the speed insights. It was very similar to this. It said, okay, install our package. So I did that. And basically you come to cursor, and you can see this little terminal down here. If you don't have the terminal, you can click on the top, click on new terminal, and then that'll open this up. And then I just pasted in this little line of code. It installed that for me. And then I just copied this. I said step 2, import speed insights, whatever it is, but this is for analytics. And then I told the AI, like, hey, I just installed the package. You don't need to install it. But here is the piece of code that I need to put, into my app's layout or your main file. I told it this, and then it did that for me, and it's now working great. So something that's also super cool is I promoted this on my my Instagram a little bit. I made a post about it just saying, hey, the website's live. You guys can go sign up for the waitlist if you want. So I got a few people. It looks like around 7 people from Instagram, but 34 total visitors, which is really interesting. And I took a look at the countries, and there's actually quite a few countries here from different people around the world. And this is totally organic. Yeah, I didn't I don't think any of my followers are really from here. Maybe a few of them, but yeah, pretty sure a lot of this is organic. Even I'm from Canada, and a lot of my followers are just people who I met here for the years. So to have more people from the States, it shows that there's definitely some organic traffic getting shown here, and that's super cool. Even as you can see, like mobile versus desktop, I'm pretty sure most people who are on my Instagram or on my desktop. So definitely a lot of desktop visitors, which is super, super cool. So we're going to see how things continue to progress. I'm also going to install this speed insight, see how fast the page is loading. But yeah, that's pretty much the website. And I'll actually show you how it looks. So this is it here. I did have to install the fave icon as well, upload the icon. That's something else I made. It was the icon itself, the logo, sorry. The way that I did that was I basically just was trying to brainstorm some ideas, and I just sat down and was like, okay, how could this logo look? And I kind of wanted like, okay, a channel, a farm, maybe like a YouTube channel icon sort of thing, as well as a farm icon. And I was like, okay, maybe like a leaf. And then maybe I could show you guys. It was actually quite a funny, here we go. We got logo. Maybe it's this one here, logo creation. So I had the first draft of it. This is it here. So I basically just sat down like, okay, this is kind of what I think would be cool. So I had that, and then I started giving it to some AI models. I used Google Gemini Studio, and then Gemini Studio ended up developing a different one for me. This one right here. And this actually looked really good. I was like, well, this looks like super nice, like very fancy. But I was like, I had nothing to do with a coffee cup, like a coffee cup and a leaf. That doesn't really make sense. So I basically just deleted the cup part of it. And as you can see, I just drew in my own, and I was okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. Like I want to go with this. And then basically I just took that, and let me show you here. Took that, and then I built out this little like square box, and I just used, the square box of this, and then I cut out like a section of it. I just used that, and then kind of made that around here. I used filter, modify, select, modify, and then contract to basically make it smaller, and just made like a little, empty gap in the middle, and then deleted the edges, made it kind of smooth it out, added a little button, a little play button in the middle, and then took this into another AI model. Again, I'm about to Google Gemini, and I just said, hey, make this a higher quality image, and then it came out and it made the final version right here. Yeah, we're gonna start with works. Okay, not sure where it is, but you get the point. The final one right here. So I did that. That worked super well. And yeah, everything is very clean, very basic. I didn't want to overcomplicate things. We just have the process, how this works. We have these little buttons right here. You can click features, how it works, pricing. I did have a little pricing window here, but obviously we're not going to allow people to pay right now. So it's just waitlist. So you can join the waitlist. And then the login button goes to app.channel.farm/login, which we don't currently have set up, so you can't actually log in. But yeah, that is the whole kind of website. I think there's a few more things here I wanted to mention. So I kind of went over everything: deployment for sell, AI assistance. I had AI basically helping me with the whole thing. Anytime I didn't know what to do, I just asked AI, get some feedback. Homepage content, early results, like I said, 20 to 30 visitors. And yeah, so the next steps are going to be building out the app.channel.farm. This is going to be the login page. We're going to have, again, that Google authentication login. We are going to need to have some subscription systems set up as well so people can pay, but I do that kind of down the road. The main thing is going to be obviously getting the actual process working. So the first part of that is going to be setting up the design of the website, so the design of the content. So basically allowing users to go into the website and select the design that they want for the videos that we're going to create for them. So that'll be kind of the first thing, along with like some user protocols. We need to define what type of user it is. Is it an admin? Is it a paying customer? Or is their subscription active? Is it not? Kind of what's their email, their name, that sort of thing. So we need to have a database for all that information. And then we need to, have the section they can go in and actually view the layout for how they want their videos to be generated. And yeah, that's going to be the next video. So I will see you guys in that next one. And stay tuned. And if you also want to join my school community and be a part of one of the 5 people who are going to be, getting access to this to be a beta tester, I'm going to be releasing a form in there where people can apply to be a beta tester. And so if you want to do that, link is below. You can join the school community, and then you can apply for that when the time comes. But until the next one, I'll see you guys later.